So when you look at kind of the importance of customer experience, how does your organization communicate and demonstrate the importance of customer experience to your clients to ensure that they're delivering accessible customer experiences to their customers? Is it something that's understood, or do you have to really kind of sell them on the idea of kind of what you are seeing from a best practices perspective?
I think it's actually well kind of understood. I think at least is kind of being the experience, and particularly kind of in the context of kind of what we do, especially around kind of loyalty programs. I think it's been an interesting kind of shift change from the past, where I think, for loyalty programs, I think historically there's been a lot of rationalization around, the need for loyalty program to drive kind of positive customer experience. Whereas now I think it's very much viewed as something that's actually needed to be able to drive more interactions or more meaningful touch points with customers. And so I think, as an organization, I think, trying to deliver or help enable our clients deliver on exceptional kind of customer experience, I think is kind of twofold. So one is actually enabling the clients with the right technology and the platform to deliver kind of the good user experience. And then overlaid on top of that, you need to make sure that you have the right proposition. So you're talking about the right offer, it's the right message that's actually going out. And there's a lot of design that's kind of behind that too.
I'm fairly old school in the way I think about things, which is anything that you do for a client needs to demonstrate financial value or commercial value to the organization. So I think that's the number one thing that we say is anything we do for you has to be measurable. And a lot of our product stack is designed around that, whether that be from a Marcoms campaign to a different promotional offer to a broader strategy, actually measuring the benefit of that. And actually in loyalty, that's harder or easier said than done. But everything we do has to be measurable. I think in terms of what companies should do and think about, I think that lots of companies have CRM, and CRM has been around for a long, long time. And CX is not CRM. CX is around this important thing of putting smiles on customers' faces, the happiness factor. And very few organizations still can track happiness, sentiment, how are people feeling about it. So I think that's the first key bastion. And of course, their loyalty and affinity to your brand. And I think when you can track happiness and affinity and correlate that with financial value or predicted value, then you have a fighting chance of knowing who you need to retain and actually how much you invest in doing that. And very few CRM platforms consider those emotional metrics, and therefore campaign managers don't even think about it. So I think that's where loyalty platforms come in, because we allow people to blend those emotional factors with the rational ones to make better decisions around in how much they invest in each customer relationship. So I think that's really key, because you've got to think about things in a different way. I think when you start thinking around happiness, sentiment, and actually what you're going to do about that brings in another engineering challenge, that often those situations, those events need to be dealt with quickly and often in real time. As humans, we are irrational beasts almost entirely. We often don't think and act on rational data points, i.e. we jerk our knees and that's done. So I think when you start looking at, okay, an event's come in, I've measured that Joe isn't happy, he's a high value customer, he's his first experience with our brand, what are you going to do about it? Well, whatever you're going to do, you've got to do it now. Tomorrow's going to be too late, so next week. So, there's lots of things come together in terms of thinking about the situation and the challenge differently, and then obviously the tech investment to back it up.
Everything we do here at Comarch, it's very customer centric. So we do make sure that our technology, our services, everything we create aligns with customer centricity. So we do invest a lot of time doing the research, making sure we know what's happening with the customers, how their behaviors are changing. Especially, in the last year, it changed so much. So you need to keep a tab on not just their behaviors, but also the sentiment shift. So we do invest, a lot on the research. And the best part is we use that to create a roadmap for the technology platform as well. So we make sure everything, all the inputs we are getting, we are investing in the right kind of experiences for our clients. And basically get ahead of the situation and give them, these solutions before even they know that they need them, right? So really that proactive approach, I feel, is really important from all the technology providers, including, their services.
And I think first, loyalty is an outcome. Whether it's a program or not, loyalty is the ultimate outcome, with engagement being a key metric to achieve that outcome. And for me and for our organization, thinking about the customer experience and really drilling into all of the data that we have about that customer experience enables us to deliver loyalty as an outcome. So I think first, we always look to make sure our bases are covered. So thinking about some of those digital metrics like customer effort score, is the customer getting to what they need to get to as easy as they should? Or is it seamless in a way? That prerequisite value, especially now with all the options that are out there, you have to do those seamless items, the operations of things correctly, and make sure that any problem that might happen is being resolved excellently. But then really taking that the next level and creating an experience that isn't just engaging, but is exciting and elevated in a way that is immersive and keeps customers coming back. I think the concept of the past, where everybody talked about the right message, the right time, the right channel, and really focused on consistency, is to some degree getting antiquated. And what we really need to think about is discovery and excitement, and providing something new for customers to reach out to and new reasons to come back.
This is really simple to me. I think a lot of people overthink this. I like to boil it down to the most basic human interactions. And one specifically is meeting somebody for the first time, right? If you meet somebody on the street or you're introduced with a friend, it just becomes a Q&A session. Nobody says, hi, I do this, I do that, I like this, I like that. It becomes conversational. So if you really want to know somebody and you want to build a relationship, it has to be this knowledge exchange. So, you have to ask them, what do you do? What do you like? What don't you like? Etc. And you got to have multiple conversations. So, both, you got to reach out to each other. Customers have to reach out to you. You have to reach out to them. And there has to be some value between you, not just a product or a transaction. So transactional, I'd say, is more like going to the DMV. You might go in there and, there's a woman behind the counter to help you, and she's got a name tag. Hi, Lisa. You're not going to be a part of my life, but I appreciate you right now. I'm not going to invite you to dinner or ask you to buy candy bars for my kid's fundraiser. And I think brands and marketers need to take that same approach when considering their marketing plans and outreach. So learn, ask, use that info. Another example, I have a buddy from college. I know him in and out. I've known him for 25 years. I know what he likes. I know his wife. I know his kids. I know his parents. I don't ask him to come archery hunting with me. That's something I love, but he does not. Don't do that to your customers. Don't do that to your potential customers. So, the kid on the corner selling lemonade is cool to wave at, and that's cute. But the guy knocking on your door constantly or hanging hang tags on your doorknob, that's annoying. Don't be that marketer. So use a value exchange, meet people, think humanly, use your loyal fans to introduce you to other ones. Don't just toss them on your list. Don't just put them into your program and call it a win. Reach out, engage, learn, listen, all of that stuff. Marketers just have to think like humans.
We're really lucky in the sense that clients seek us out to do exactly that. And I think part of the reason why they seek us out is we've made it our habit to really think about how can we engage people in a really effective way. And to do that, at the beginning of almost every piece of work that we do a lot of work to understand what the customers need, what the brand needs, and what's operationally feasible. And we wrap that all up into a strategic offering for which we can project the impact to the business, the impact to the customer, and build in measurement criteria all along the way. So again, kind of a data-oriented response to that question, but really being able to impact a business and have others talk about how we're impacting their businesses draws business to us in itself. And one of the ways that when we get freshly engaged with a customer or with a client, that we demonstrate that is by looking for areas within their business that we can make a quick and meaningful impact in. So I'll give you an example with one of our travel clients. They had a situation where somebody would book, and then it might be, weeks to months before they consumed their travel. And we took a look at that gap and said, how can we build a sophisticated, personalized yet automated solution to engage those people, those purchasers, in between that time of the booking and the time of their travel consumption. And what the net result of that was is we were able to understand the needs through segmentation, through understanding the different audience segments that they were targeting, and deliver content that was custom to them based on who they were, how long it was before they were going to travel, and which type of travel they were going to be taking. And that resulted in a sharp reduction in the number of cancellations. It also resulted in an improvement in ancillary revenue as people were booking additional packages within that travel experience. And from there, we were able to take that approach of personalization and understanding the customer and move that laterally within the journey within this particular travel customer, all the way from using the customer data to understand attributes that were more prominent within customers that were more likely to be high value customers, and using that to build demand generation models that were delivered through media to improve acquisition, effectiveness and efficiency, and then all the way through helping remind people who had traveled with this brand what a great experience they had, and build anticipation for the next travel experience that they could have with this particular brand. So it's really about getting in there, solving a problem quickly and with precision, and then using the momentum to broaden the impact that we can make across more stages and more steps within that holistic customer experience.